Holy cow! My wife. Holly Jolly Christmas.
No.
She hates that song, by the way.
Yes.
It's a little dark out here. Of course, it's nighttime. This video will be uploaded to YouTube because it's one of my outdoor videos. That's the only thing I upload to YouTube nowadays. And now at Central Park here, where they're going to be lighting the Christmas trees. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I think they got them lit. Yep, they might have already had them lit.
I wish they had more color to them, but nonetheless.
Oh, they're reading the names off. We're going to have to be quiet on that.
Still, I have to be quiet because they're reading stuff also. Anyway, here's the Christmas trees. It's pretty, but I wish they had more color.
We love and miss you, your family.
I was seeing what my wife was doing.
In memory of Dennis Herm Kurtz, dedicated by the Stitch Doctor, Jackie Key. In honor of Craig T. Voss, dedicated by Patty, Matthew, and Tara Voss. In memory of Mike and Valerie Hazelwood, dedicated by Amelia and Olivia Hazelwood. In memory of Beverly Hamilton, dedicated by Craig Hamilton and the Swallow family. In memory of Buck, Louise, and Bubby Wheaton, dedicated by Mike, Pat, Larry, Carrie, J.D., and families. In loving memory of Dwayne Gates, you are greatly missed by wife, children, grandkids, and family.
Pretty cool they do that.
In memory of Jay and Irma Myers, Donald and Patricia Mino, dedicated by Bob and Christy Myers and family. In memory of Aaron Hoffman, dedicated by the Hoffman Travis family. Stephen's greetings from Graphics Masters. In memory of Connie Carlson, dedicated by Jim Carlson, Renate and Kristen Carlson Cormier, and Jill, Lucas, Ellie and Ava Barnes, Scott, Heather, Rachel, Jacob, and Nicholas Carlson. In memory of Carol and Rosemary Priester, dedicated by Fred and Carolyn Jenkins. In memory of our lost loved ones, dedicated by Danny's Auto Supply. In memory of Dave North, dedicated by Sherry North and family. In memory of Bud and Mildred Heckert, Walter and Vera Huber, Bob and Joyce Heckert, dedicated by the Gary Heckert family. In loving memory of Barb Heckert, dedicated by your husband, Gary Heckert, and family. In memory of Mark Sywert and Alice Whitmore, dedicated by family of Mark and Alice. In memory of Dwayne Dimmitt, dedicated by Linda Dimmitt, Terry and Dennis Bryant family, Barb and Ron Loxton family,
I knew it was
Rebecca
Dimmitt.
and Jeffrey Hornbeck family.
But she's been gone for
We
years.
love and
They
miss
can
you.
do this, so you can bring you onto memory anytime.
In honor of all Main Street Ottumwa volunteers, thanks for all you do, dedicated by the Main Street staff. In memory of Fred and Ada Matsdam and John and Helen Zeziger, dedicated by your loving family.
Hi.
In memory of Calbert and Mabel Clark, sons Calbert and Harvey Clark, daughters Diane Clark Davis, dedicated by the Clark family. In memory of Norma Monahan, also known as Grandma Monahan, dedicated by all your family. In memory of Jimmy Lee Butler, dedicated by Nancy Butler.
I was trying to hotel come on.
I know.
In loving memory of our dear sister, Pat Redlinger, we miss you, Marcia Parker and Rhonda Redlinger. In memory of Betty St. John and Olga Hench, dedicated by Matt Roberts and Carl Hench, Big River Fabric and Gift Company. In memory of John Richard Moore, dedicated by Brenda Case. In memory of James and Maureen Merchant, dedicated by the Merchant family. In memory of Randy Joe O'Leary, dedicated by Denny, Brendan, and Karen O'Leary, and all her family. In memory of Randy and Marcia Mabius, we love and miss you every day, Taylor, Wendy, and Don. Happy holidays from My Chic Boutique and Ottumwa Tuxedo Rentals. In memory of Misty Fogel, we miss you terribly and will love you always, Mom, Dina, and husband, Richie. In memory of Barb Allison, dedicated by Steve Allison and family. In memory of Dr. Robert and Marjorie Perkins, dedicated by Bob Perkins. In memory of Mary Byers, dedicated by Bob Perkins. In memory of Rhonda Reagan, love you always and forever, your loving family. In memory of Lois Williams, your family loves you a bushel and a peck.
That's cute.
In memory of Roger and Sue Burton, dedicated by Jay and Terry Messerschmidt and family, and Rob and Karen Burton and family. In memory of Jack and Shirley Messerschmidt, dedicated by Jay and Terry and family. In memory of Lester Hobbs, dedicated by your kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. In memory of Joe Simplot, dedicated by Heather Simplot and family.
What?
In memory of Rick Simplot, dedicated by Rick Simplot family. In memory of Jim, Pat, Bill, Don, and Joan Schwartz, dedicated by Nick, Mike, Kay, Tim, and their families. In memory of Zachary Ryan Yates, dedicated by Neil and Lori Yates and Molly Yates. Never regret growing old. It's a privilege denied to many.
That's true.
It's been a good run. Thanks for the last 40 years, Ottumwa. Hotel Ottumwa, dedicated by Kay, Lori, and Tim. In memory of Ron Kirk, dedicated by Judy Kirk and Cone, Sarah, LJ, Emmett Stice. In memory of Robert and Elaine Schulte and Jackie Schulte-Reese, dedicated by the Schulte family, John, Lori, Dan, and Deb. In memory of Peter and Gladys Trucano, Clayton and Velma Countryman, dedicated by Vernon and Margaret Trucano and family. In memory of Keith and Janice Pickrell, dedicated by Jane and Roy, Kathy and Mike, Tim and Lisa, Diane and Gary, Keitha and Brian, Rod and Veronica, grandkids and great-grandkids. In memory of Anita Brooks, dedicated by Harold Brooks. In memory of Kenneth J. Anderson, dedicated by Carolyn, Brenda, and Beth.
Brenda Anderson.
In memory of Tom McDonald, dedicated by Corey McDonald and Holly Berg.
Another Holly.
In memory of our grandparents, Barbara Castor, Roberta McDonald, and Barb and Jay Penn, dedicated by Corey McDonald and Holly Berg. In memory of Bill and Darlene Pita, Marge and Jane Pita, Max Andrew Sigmund, and Gary Zellers, dedicated by the Pita siblings, Dennis Zellers and Samantha Hewlin. In memory of Rhonda Donato and Ron Hammock from your loving family. In memory of Seth Anderson and Nathan Messer. Merry Christmas in heaven with much love, the Messer and Anderson families. In memory of Chad Boitnott, dedicated by Kimbra and Colton, Dad and Mom, Jeremy and Cassie, Gavin, Dempsey, Jovi, Marley, Curly, and Mary.
Excuse me.
In memory of Melissa Ebelheiser McKay and baby Asher Tate McKay, dedicated by Trent, Gemma, Mallory, Ryan, Rory, Marnie, Mark, and Mandy. In memory of Grammy Deb Bernstedt, dedicated by Marissa, Grant, Rory, and Marnie.
That's an interesting name, Marnie.
In memory of Chad Cormany, we love and miss you. Tracy, Sydney, Camden, and family. In memory of Bob and Jill Ulrich, Joe Greenlee, Renee Jones, dedicated by family and friends. In memory of John and Marilyn Potter, dedicated by Tim, Jana, Mitch, Carolyn, Alex, and Jack Hardy. In memory of Jeff Logan, with much love, Ben. In memory of Barbara Keitel, dedicated by Jeff and Abby Leonard, Mac, Ben, Megan, Carson, and Lynn Klingman. In memory of Cameron David Euling, dedicated by David and Chris Euling.
Of you.
In memory of Florence and Martin O'Hara, Faye and Everett Walton,
O'Hara.
dedicated by the O'Hara family. In memory of Gerald and Marie Phillips, dedicated by Jerry and Karen Phillips. In memory of Anne Wasco, dedicated by Charles and Mary Wasco and Jerry and Karen Phillips. In memory of Chet and Jan Cornett, spent their lives saving others, they will be forever missed. Love, family, and friends. In memory of Doug Long, dedicated by Bryce and Shelby Long, we love and miss you more every day.
Went to school Long.
In memory of Cody Scott Ridgway, dedicated by Ted, Tiffany, Evelyn, and Nora Canny.
You let me know when you want to.
In memory of Carol Taylor, John, Jerry, and Jim Neese, dedicated by Janice Wagner family and Mary Neese family. In memory of Grandma Shirlene, dedicated by the Whites, Wheatricks, and Woodards. In memory of Dr. Henry Hammer, dedicated by the Hammer family. In memory of Richard W. Jones, love and miss you, Sally, Renee, Kermit, Robin, Tracy, Richard Jr., and Linda, grandchildren and great-grandchildren. In memory of Wiley and Floyd McClellan, dedicated by Linda, Chad, Ryan, and Heather McClellan. In memory of Tony Yensick, dedicated by Keely and Stella. In memory of Tony Bishop, we love and miss you every day. Lisa, Madison, Quentin, and Ellie. In memory of Tommy Spurgeon, we love and miss you, your family. In memory of Larry Orgies, dedicated by his wife, children,
Yes, it
and
is.
grandchildren. In memory of Linda Mace, dedicated by Jim and Kathy Mace, Lisa and Brian Kent. In loving memory of L. Jean Carlson, dedicated by Southside Drug. In loving memory of Marjorie Christner, dedicated by your children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. We love and miss you every day. In memory of Carl and Doris Wiltz, dedicated by Ed the Florist. In memory of Jerry and Helen Baker and Corey Smith, we miss you every day and hold you in our hearts forever, your family. In memory of Tom and Kim Walter, dedicated by your loving family. In memory of Ray and Marcia Wilkes, dedicated by Dennis and Sue Ann Home. In memory of Terrace and Lois Van Zee, dedicated by Dennis Home.
I think they're getting close.
Happy holidays from Denise Gardner and Zing. In memory of Norman Brandt Jr., dedicated by Janet, Coleman, Clayton, Greg, and Julie, Lisa, and Dale. In memory of Mike, Patty, and Ann Comer, dedicated by family and friends. In memory of Grandpa Barney Long and Papa Bill Amos, dedicated by Ron and Judy Amos families. In memory of Ducky and Jody Clark, still loved, still missed, and forever in our hearts, your family. In memory of George and Ida Costas and Tony Ferguson, dedicated by your family. In memory of Papa Jeff Ferguson, dedicated by your family. In memory of Mike and Mary Ryan, dedicated by Dee, TJ, Sean, and family. In memory of David Hawley, love you always, Barb, Amy, Franz, John, Andrea, Maddie, Alex, and Zach. In memory of Bill and Georgia Anderson, dedicated by Dan, Marcia, Susan, Mary, Bryce, Sharon, and families. Deep in our hearts, you will always stay loved and missed every day. Roy Meyer and Arthur Jefferson, dedicated by Sue Meyer, Daddy, Mommy, and Harper. In memory of Colin Tobias Monroe, dedicated by Jennifer, Mom, Dad, Carrie, and Connor. In memory of Dawson Thomas Vandelow and Lucas James Vandelow, dedicated by Tom and Alice Vandelow and families. Happy holidays from Orsborn, Mitchell, Getkin, and Larson. In loving memory of Marvin and Luella Worth, dedicated by the Worth family.
There's a doggy over there.
we will take a few moments of silence right now. Let's all join together in singing Joy to the World. Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let heaven receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing.
I think so. Really nice. Nice they do this.
You want to walk around?
Yeah. That was really nice. No, I didn't talk much, just they were, you know, doing introductions about in memory of, and that was really nice.
6, 4, 3, 2, 1. Merry Christmas!
Oh, wow.
And join together, deck the halls with boughs of holly. Fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la. Don we now our gay apparel. Fa la 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 la. Draw the ancient Yuletide carol. La 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 la.
So did I.
Thank you everyone for coming out tonight. Remember that tomorrow is Small Business Day, and we will be dropping snowballs from the corner of Market and 2nd Street, so come join us for that. Thanks everyone.
I have no idea.
10 a.m.
Sure. That's really pretty. I'm recording this too.
It's really pretty.
Really pretty. I like how they have pictures on there.
Yep, they
Pretty
take
cool.
all that off later.
Yeah, they're not on every tree. It's really pretty.
Mixture. It's gorgeous.
There was a traffic jam through there. Yeah. Oh look, angels. That is. Yep, right in here is where I propose where that tree is. I like that snowman. Yep, right where that tree is where I proposed to my then fiance.
Yep.
No, we're not going to get teary-eyed. Nope, we're not going to get teary-eyed. There's the tree. Pretty good sized tree. Pretty good sized tree. Beautiful view right in here. Real beautiful view.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, it's pretty.
Aren't you?
I am.